hold a horse, if they're panicking, they're going to go. They are going to go. So just get out of the way. But at first, if he's not paying attention to me and I want his head right here, and he won't keep it there, I go, ah, ah. First you just talk to him. And if he's still being naughty, which he isn't, but if he was still being naughty, then you would give him a little jerk. Hey, pay attention. But what you don't want to do is hang on, because if you hold, they'll pull back, they win. So you give them a little jerk, talk to them like that. Some horses respond to a shoulder twitch. You might have seen vets do that. They just grab some skin on their shoulder and pinch it. I know it. Pinch it. That gets their attention. Otherwise, we can resort to chains and things. Would you please hand me the stuff behind you? All of them. Need it all. Yeah. Is there one more chain? Say your vet or your farrier, somebody's working with your horse and he's not paying attention and you already went and you already jerked his rope a little bit. You could get the friendly hand helper. You don't have to beat him with it, but it gets their attention. And if you do need to tap him, it's a noise maker more than a hurt. You say, hey, that didn't hurt him a bit, but it got his attention. You say, hey, put it by his eye, that gets their attention. You never recommend beating on a horse if somebody's working around him. That would be dangerous to that other person, be it the vet or the farrier. But anything to get their attention. Some lead ropes come with chains attached, or you can just get a chain and attach it when necessary. Mr. G has a chain often because he's the type that you're leading him out to the field or in from the field, and he'll just turn around and take off. And there's no holding him. You can't hold a horse if they're pulling through your hands, which makes me say wear gloves when you're working around horses, because if they rip a lead rope through your hand, you will remember it, because it's like a carpet burn. It's blisters too. So a chain over the nose. This is a real sensitive part of a horse, their bridge of their nose. And then we run up alongside and hook it up here. If you just put it around their nose and hooked it on this side, if you pulled on it, you just turn the whole halter sideways. This gives it more stability. So if he's really naughty and he's not paying attention, I'm going to, come here, walk him a minute. Come. He's probably going to be perfect, and I don't feel bad, but if you're going to shake a horse, this is called shaking a horse with a chain. You have to do it and say something, no! And then let go. Because if I put some pressure and started pulling and pulling, he's going to back up and take off. So, you're a good boy. He does not understand this. So anyway, you jerk on it once, no, and let go. And then it should come looser. Yeah, and that's using a chain. Good boy. Then we have twitches, which vets sometimes use, not so much anymore. The most popular use these days is drugs, because you can get a pretty inexpensive little shot that takes care of all of this, or most of this. Just give them a little sedation, and then they calm right down. But you can grab their nose and hold it like that, jiggle it around, that'll take his attention. Some horses will not stand for this. Some, it doesn't bother so much. But if somebody's going to give a shot, or do something quickly, if you just grab their nose, get their attention, it's over. If it's a long-term thing, they'll probably give them drugs. Another thing is, for example, where's my helmet? I forgot. Say he's got a cut on his leg here, and the vet needs to wash it off and everything, and anytime you go near it, he backs up and has a hard time. Your helper would pick up the other foot, the other front foot, there, and then he's stuck, and I can mess with this foot until he yanks that other foot from her. Thank you. So that's another form of restraint. Then we can move on to twitches. And old horses that are 20 pretty much have an idea of what all this is about. Oh, and some of them will not stand for it. But same thing as your hand twitch, except you can jiggle it around. Yeah, and hey, I get his attention while somebody's back there doing what he doesn't want them to do. Most horses just dislike, dislike vets just because of how they smell. So when you come in with your clothes like that, you too will be hated. My friend graduated Michigan State as a licensed vet tech probably 30 years ago, She went into her own barn after work, opened the stall door to see her horse. Didn't say anything, I don't know why, but she opened the door and she was dressed for work, and that horse kicked her right in the stomach across the aisle. And her own horse, because that's what the horse smelled, the whole vet thing coming into her stall, and she wasn't having any of that. So you have to really understand how they think. Horses are flight animals, and if they want to go, like a big dog or a small dog, I mean, when you're restraining, if they want to go, horses will go. Dogs you can hang on to, you can lay on them or whatever. But at some point, if you could just hold them for a second to let the vet get out of the way, warn them, or the farrier, whoever, he's getting out of here, everybody clear the way. Because that's about it for restraint. There's an old thing about holding their ears, but that's not anything we want to do. You can break their cartilage and cause permanent damage. So there are some other meaner restraints, but these are the typical ones: the chain, the twitch. But mostly if you can just get their attention. They can only think about one thing at a time. You can just get their attention for a couple minutes, pinch them, pet them, slap them, pay attention to you, and then the vet can get something done real quick. Okay? Like Sean said, I'm Louise. My sister Catherine's here in the red coat. She's helping. Pam, who's holding that horse, she's a graduate. Oh, I gotta show you. Last year's graduates.